You're Rakan's descendant. Did you absorb the mana from Rakan's fang? Suho thinks, it absorbed the mana from Rakan's fang. So the Rakan's fang sacrificed itself to save the descendant. And system shows, do you want to recruit Fang's descendant as a colleague? He thinks, since I was going to cooperate with Fang from the beginning, I have no reason to refuse, and he clicks the yes. System shows, you have recruited Fang's descendant as a colleague. Suho feels something flowing into his mind. Brokey is telling to Wolfpup, dear Rakan's descendant, we have lost the war against the Shadow Monarch. This world, after all, follows the rule of the survival of the fittest. Since we have lost, we will lose many things. Make sure to become strong, so the Fang prospers. The descendant just smiles, but after that something happens. There are few guys standing in front of Brokey. In the top of their heads there is a symbol. What are you? Why aren't you ending me? A woman is holding a baby and the baby tells, this looks like a useful monster. You're just what I need, I'll choose this one. And they takes glowing crystal and plants it in Brokey's eyes. It screams out because of the pain, and descendant also gets scared seeing that. That woman says, Hyena Brokey, from now on your duty is to capture humans alive and deliver them to us. The thing I planted in you will help you by increasing your strength. Of course, depending on who uses it, the desires they hold can become beyond twisted. Those all memories flows into Suho's mind. He thinks, the people who planted something into Brokey's eyes, are those guys the main culprits directly related to the Itarum? The Fang's descendant doesn't want to get revenge on Brokey, but instead wants to stop Brokey's rampage. If this is somehow connected to their plan, I must defeat Brokey, but I don't have the power to win against him. While his thinking, system pops up. You have received request for recruiting a colleague. Quest. Monarch's descendants. Seek out the Monarch's descendants and recruit them as colleagues. Monarch's descendants who have become colleagues. 1 out of 8. A bonus skill is formed due to the bond with Fang's descendant, and they both feel some energy flowing out of them and a big collision occur. Beru wonders, what the? Young monarch is experiencing a change different from what happened to the king. Brokey charges while saying, I don't know what happening, but do you think I am going to sit tight and do nothing, and launches a powerful punch at Suho. Because of that, ground breaks. After the dust clears, Brokey gets surprised seeing his punches stopped, and Suho transferred into a beast form. And system shows, bond skill, beast possession. Level 1, mana cost 1 per second. By letting the Fang's descendant dwell in your body, your physical body is enhanced. Your senses became as keen as those of beast. Brokey thinks, what the? This time he absorbed the descendant, and attacks, but he avoids while thinking, my body's so light, I can feel my senses becoming sharper. I can sense the optimal movements to avoid danger, and hits him in the stomach, and thinks, if it's now, then I can win, and kicks him in the jaw. Brokey wonder, what the? This was the pipsqueak from just now. Suho stands to attack again. Suddenly in Brokey's eyes a symbol glows, and it shifts from eyes to head, and its mana increase rapidly, and it thinks, I can't lose. If I do, I lose everything. And it attacks him with a punch, but Suho defends it. Beru thinks, its mana increased. I don't know what you did, but one thing's for sure, I will never lose to a human like you. In the end, the difference in power comes from the difference in species. Blame yourself for being human, an inferior species, and throws a punch at Suho, but Suho also meets its punch with his and pushes him. Because of that, Brokey's arm twists, and system shows, you have learned the skill, unarmed combat. Level 1. Suho gets into a position to attack, and system shows the details of skill unarmed combat, passive skill. Mana cost, none. You became skillful in hand-to-hand combat. You'll do 33% additional damage to opponents when attacking using your body. Beru angrily tells, how dare you speak of the difference in species in front of the young monarch? There is no way anything could be above the species of the Shadow Monarch. Hearing that, Brokey gets scared and asks, that means, this kid is the Shadow Monarch's. Before his saying complete, Suho jumps high and kicks him in the head. Because of that hit, ground itself also destroyed. After that, beast fusion is slowly wears off, and wolf turns into smoke and comes out. With his dying breath it murmurs, stronger, I need to get stronger. The descendant just licks its head with sadness. I now remember the reason why I needed to get stronger, Sir Rakan. I was furious because I couldn't protect you. Suho just stares at him, and the descendant howls. System shows, you have defeated Hyena Brokey, you have level up. And Brokey dies. Beru praises him, great job young monarch. Suho asks, Beru, you sensed Itarum energy from Brokey, right? I saw the memories of the monarch of Fang's successor, and I saw the hunters put something in Brokey's eyes inside the dungeon. Could they be the apostles of Itarum? And why did they attack Brokey? Beru says, they are probably not from Itarum. The outer gods use their apostles to interfere with events. Their actions must be related to the invasion of this world. Suho asks, so, Itaram Apostle on Earth. I'd love some more intel. We can't have the information on Itaram cutting off again. Beru tells there is a way. Broki has memories related to Itaram. If I eat his corpse, I can look at them. I can also recover my magic. 2 birds with 1 stone. Suho looks at him like an idiot and asks, you have the power to do that? And looks at Fang's descendant, knelt down and asks, wanna come with me? I want to show you a place. It just looks at him and Suho just smiles. Fang's descendant licks his face with joy. Suho takes out the shadow dungeon key and uses it. And he signaled to Beru, I'll leave it to you then. Beru says, young monarch, you're too kind. After that they enter into the shadow dungeon. And Beru asks, young monarch, why did you come here to the shadow dungeon? To give Fang's successor a place to live, Beru exclaimed. You let him stay here, he says, well, we're allies now, and without a guardian or a sanctuary he's kinda pitiful. System pops up, comrade. Fang's successor wants you to give him a name. Decide on a name for Fang's successor. Suho asks, you want me to name you? And it's nods. He names it without putting any thought into, you got gray fur. So, gray, Beru thinks, like father, like son, but Gray likes the name. He tells, alright then, Gray, this forest will be your domain now, so use it all you want. System shows, a part of the shadow dungeon has been set as Fang's domain. Gray has been set as the master of Fang's domain. He asks, Beru, what does he eat? Beru explains, he has the blood of Fang flowing through him, so, I think he can eat living organism or even monsters. That's good and says, we still need to take care of some monsters here, so, let's have Gray clean up this place while looking at a goblin hiding behind the tree. Hearing that, Gray gets excited and attacks one of the goblin and kills it. Other one tried to attack Gray but it avoids. Suho just watching it from tree branch and encourages, great speed, Gray, and thinks, I should also sort out what I got. System shows, quest reward. The following rewards are ready. Reward 1, stat points. 5. Reward 2, title, Wolfslayer. He accepts the rewards and system shows the details of Wolfslayer. This title given to a skilled wolf hunter. Boosts all stats by 40% when facing beast-type monsters. He wonder, Wolfslayer, wasn't Broki hyena? Beru says, just skip the little things. He says, anyways, this quest. Look for successors of monarchs and became friends with them. Beru tells, my lord never had this. I think your level up system is an improved version since some of the system's ill will has gone away. Suho confusedly asks, ill will? He explains, before, the person behind the system was a schemer. So the system wanted to forcefully improve Sung Jinwoo and use him as the Shadow Monarch's vessel. The moment this happens, his soul would have been disappeared, but Sung Jinwoo went against that, and became the Shadow Monarch, so he was a great being who didn't need to level up anymore. Suho asks, so the system's trying to make me into the Shadow Monarch as well? Beru tells, that's not the case, there's only Shadow Monarch. I think the system is matching up with the direction of your progress and acting as a guide. The new function must be for your benefit. Suho wonders, my system's goal and says, status window. It shows, name, Sung Suho, level, 16, title, Wolfslayer, HP 2550, MP 270, strength, 35, agility, senses, stamina, intelligence are all 27, distributable points, 5, passive skills, none. Active skills, ruler authority, level 1, shadow extraction, level 2, resilience, level 2, tempest strike, level 1. He thinks, in that case, it makes sense that I have no class. These stats are way higher from back when I was going after mist burns at level 1. I also got all this useful skills, but I'm still weak. If it weren't for the bond skill with Gray this time, I'd lose to Broki. If the system quests go as per my wishes, I should clear the quests first. As I keep clearing them, I'll probably be able to meet mom and dad one day. He jumps down from the tree branch and asks, were there any clues about Itaram in Broki's memories? Beru tells, I also saw the memory you told me about, but I didn't find anything about the Itaram apostle who brainwashed Broki. So, in the end, you didn't find anything. Beru says, however, there was a memory of the man who made the hyena guild for Broki and took the kidnapped humans. The guild name is Reaper. You'll find more about it Itaram if you look into this guild. And scene shifts to a phone vibrating on the desk, and someone picks the call and says, Ho, I'm Tagayu. Weren't you in the southeast for a raid? That guy in the phone tells, that's not important right now. Didn't you see the news, the hyena incident? You did it, didn't you? He says, what do you mean? Aren't hyenas animals you see in the zoo? That guy tells, don't change the topic, Lee Minsung. He says, I'm Taegayu, watch it. That guy just tells Lee Min-sung, I already confirmed your commission with the Hyena Guild. The association will come at you for that. He says, so what, I didn't do it. All I need to do is call my lawyer and they'll take care of it. Better not be too confident. The law may not be strong enough, but the association chairman isn't an easy opponent. You better fix this by the time I get back. He gets irritated and says, he dares to hang up after saying whatever he wants. He was just my dang drivers back in the day. Now he's acting all arrogant just because he's an S ranker. He breaks the desk into pieces and says, the guy who took down Brokey and the Hyena Guild. The only intel I got from the survivors was that he was a young hunter wearing a black mask. I didn't have the time to be paying attention to him. Right now, this is more important. He is the vice leader of the Reaper Guild. Lee Min-sung says, Hunter Stimulant, Stardust. Once this business hits big, no one will be able to look down on me. Gray kills all the goblins, and Beru praises, you've gotten quite good at fighting now. Strive harder so that you may aid the young monarch, and Gray growls at him. Beru tells, now Gur, don't leave anything behind, eat as much as you want. Suho asks, how did Gray turn into Gur? It's adapting a lot better than I thought it would, at least, while his thinking system pops up a notice. The amount of experience that Companion Gray has obtained from hunting magic beasts has reached its goal, and will now be transferred to the player. Experience production, 50%. Seeing that he gets confused and tells, Beru, my experience just went up after Gray finished hunting. Was something like this part of the system before? Beru says, is that so? I'm not too certain, but I believe it's similar to the system where the experience obtained by the Shadow Soldier goes to my king. He exclaims, so it's like a party system that shares experience points. Like a game, 50% of it is reduced, but isn't it a groundbreaking for experience to increase automatically? Beru tells, then, let's make Gray hunt here from now on. Hearing that Gray growls, Suho says, it's a status window again, and it shows, you have met the requirements to obtain a quest by defeating a certain number of magic beasts in the Shadow Dungeon. Notice, daily quest, Shadow Dungeon clearing. 100 goblins, 10 goblin decurion, 1 goblin centurion. Suho gets confused and says, daily quest. It wants me to kill goblins. If there's a quest, there should also be a reward, and seeing how it's a daily quest, does that mean I can receive the rewards every day? Beru says, it seems that the system desires for this area to completely become a part of your domain. Suho asks, it's telling me to find 100 goblins in this large area. And he opens the inventory and takes out the item, horn flute, rarity, E, type, instrument. A horn flute used by goblin centurions to call for their subordinates. Suho tells, I obtained this from killing goblins a while back, and uses the horn to call nearby goblins. After that, goblins one by one comes and attacks him. Suho says, just as I thought. Beru says, to think you would bring the goblins here by using the horn flute. You are truly amazing. Suho uses the ruler's authority skill, and throws a powerful punch at goblins. That single punch is enough to make their faces flat, and he once again uses that punch to send them flying, and thinks, there's no fun beating goblins anymore but if I have to defeat a lot of them. And Suho continuously uses the horn flute to call nearby goblins, and they come in groups to attack, but in the end he kills them all, and says, there should be at least this many coming at me together. And he uses the shadow extraction to resurrect the goblins. Gray also attacks the goblins and the resurrected goblins also attacks other goblins. Suho also killing them. After that system notice comes, quest, Shadow Dungeon cleaning. Goblins 100 out of 107. Goblins Decurion, 10 out of 10. Goblins Centurion, 1 out of 1, killed. Because of the 3 hours of hunting, Gray gets tired, and system shows, dungeon cleaning has been completed. You have received a reward for completing a quest. Check your reward. Suho just stares at the system window. Beru asks, what's the matter, young monarch? He tells, the quest count seems a little off. I already hit the goals, but it's still counting. Could it be, if it's continuing to count, maybe there's some secret behind it. Let's see how far it can go. Hearing that Gray gets shocked, after that the system shows, quest, Shadow Dungeon cleaning. Goblins 200 out of 200. Goblin Decurions 20 out of 10. Goblin Centurion, 2 out of 1, killed. Because of the hunting, Gray turns into white, and system shows hidden quest. Shadow Dungeon cleaning has been completed. You have received reward for completing a quest. Check your reward. Gray's soul left its body because of the hunting, and Suho gets excited and says, so there was something hidden and tells, except, system shows the reward notice. You will receive the following rewards. Reward 1. Status recovery. Reward 2, stat points. 3, reward 3, blessed random box. Reward 4, Cursed random box. Would you like to accept them all? He says, accept the first reward, and system shows. Reward 1, status recovery. Suho tells, I've completely recovered, just as if I've leveled up. This might be useful if I save it and use it when I'm injured in the middle of battle. Accept the second reward, and wonders, it should get much more harder to obtain stat points as my level increases. But it looks like I can get stronger every day from the daily quest rewards. And lastly, system shows, you must select one of the 2 random boxes. Which one will you choose? Blessed random box provides a player with an item they want. Cursed random box provides a player with an item they need. He contemplates, if I receive something I want it might turn out to be useless, but if I received something I need it could turn out to be something I don't want, but what I want is too broad. Right now, there are more things that I need, and he selects the cursed random box. System shows, you have obtained item, Vulcan's horn. He sees the gauntlets, and system shows item details. Item, Vulcan's horn. Rarity, unknown. Type, gloves. Attack power, 40. Note, gauntlets crafted from the horn of the demon, the avaricious Vulcan. It inflict reader damage due to Vulcan's authority resting within it. Effects, urge to destroy, increase physical damage by 30%. Effects, demon devourer. Vulcan's authority becomes much more powerful as more demons' souls are devoured. He tells, I can't be turning shadow soldiers into my weapons every time, so I want a separate weapon. This is neat. And he wears both gauntlets and says, seeing how it has a 30% physical damage increase, does that mean the value increases the more demons I hunt? It's a bit heavy, so I should invest all my stat points into strength, and increases 35 to 43. Now then, I should augment my weapon by defeating demons. System shows, there has been a change in your companion's state. The loyalty of companion. Gray is changed from admiration to fear. Beru tells, young monarch, Gur isn't a shadow soldier with limitless stamina. Suho sees the Gray's condition and says, sorry, let's take a break today. There's something I need to find outside anyway. After that they exit the dungeon, and Suho asks, the name of the guild related to the Hyena Guild was Reaper, right? Beru tells, that's right. He thinks, where should I start investigating? He sees a message from Ta Lim asking to help, and scene shifts to Seoul Station Field Danger Zone. Ta Lim waves his hand to Suho and tells, thank you so much for coming, and he explains the situation. I have to go into the dungeon today, but none of the haulers are responding. Suho asks, no one came to work. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, those jerks. I bet they're off drinking somewhere. Suho tells, I'll help you out, so calm down. Ta Lim gets happy and says, you're the best, Suho, and gives him a suit. Suho asks, isn't that hazmat suit? Ta Lim explains, it's more dangerous for haulers than miners, so a hazmat suit is must. Miners can safely mine away in the back of the dungeon where it's been cleared, but haulers need to carry away the magic beasts that the strike squad hunts down, so they need to tail them closely. We have to prepare for any potential attacks too, and we could also end up getting injured from spines or needles on the carcasses. Suho says, so that's what the hazmat suit is for, and the strike squad comes and asks, what? Why is the hauling team so small? Ta Lim says, sorry about this. The haulers who were supposed to come today are all missing. The strike squad leader gets mad and asks, what kind of irresponsible thing are you saying? After signing a contract, do you have any idea how much we paid the Reaper Guild just an entrance fee? If you two lag behind, I'll formally report this to the association. I'll make sure you won't be able to work as haulers ever again. He apologizes and tells, yes, we'll do our best. Please trust us. Strike squad leader thinks, this is why I hate irresponsible people. Ta Lim complains to Suho, I'm not even the leader of the hauling team. Suho, teach them a lesson with your summons. He looks at strike squad and thinks, 4 D rank mage type hunters, 4 D rank combat type hunters, and 1 C rank healer. The guy that shouted just now, it looks like the healer's the leader of the strike squad. The cursed random box that gives me an item I need, the demon devouring weapon that came out of it, Vulcan's horn. Ta Lim saying, it can get slippery around here, so watch out. Suho, Ta Lim, who happened to contact me at that moment, and the field type dungeon owned by the Reaper Guild. If all of this isn't a coincidence. And other side, in the deepest part of the dungeon, a mistburn is screaming. Beside that mistburn there are 3 demons standing there and watching it. Suho thinks, I feel like something dangerous is about to happen. Our video ends here. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.